guys, welcome to my channel. So today in this video lecture we are gonna study about cholinergic drugs. Guys, ANS is so much important and you cannot go to your any entrance exam, any dental or medical entrance exam without revising or without knowing this topic thoroughly. Okay, so each and everything is important in this video lecture and the upcoming video lectures in which we are going to study about the anticholinergic drugs and sympathomimetics and everything. Okay, so yeah, and to get a free PDF of this video lecture, you can get it from my Telegram channel. And don't forget to connect me over Instagram and Facebook, where we do the daily image based questions, and currently we are doing the radiographic interpretation series. So guys, our today's video lecture is gonna revolve around this single word, which is acetylcholine. Okay? Everything about the cholinergic drug is about acetylcholine. Okay, basically the action of cholinergic drugs is similar to our this compound or neurotransmitter acetylcholine. In this video lecture, we'll study the receptors which are present on the neuron for acetylcholine as well as the actions of it. Okay. In the introductory video of ANS, we have studied about it, but let's revise it one more time. Okay, acetylcholine acts at preganglionic and the postganglionic neuron site in parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. So in this video lecture, our acetylcholine is the hero. Okay. And our cholinergic drugs, which we are gonna study, are the duplicates. They will just mimic the action of acetylcholine. That's why we also call them parasympathomimetic drugs, okay? Because they are mimicking the action of acetylcholine, right? So this is the basic funda behind this cholinergic drugs. So do remember it this way, okay? Now inside the cholinergic neuron, first we'll study how the acetylcholine is formed, okay? As you can see over here, there is an uptake of choline by the neurons. This is the rate limiting step in the synthesis of acetylcholine. Then this choline is combining with acetyl-CoA and formation of acetylcholine is happening. Okay, this acetylcholine is stored inside the vesicles. When it will receive the impulse, it will get released from its vesicles into the synaptic sites. Okay, so these are the basic steps. Whenever the neuron gets stimulated, the acetylcholine will get released into postganglionic as well as preganglionic cholinergic receptors. Okay, as we have studied, parasympathetic में acetylcholine is essential for preganglionic site as well as on the postganglionic site. Cholinergic receptors. So we have two types of cholinergic receptors. First is our nicotinic receptors. Okay, we have N1 and N2. N1 are also called NM receptors. We are gonna study maximum about the NM receptors in pharma. Okay, so it is they are present at neuromuscular junction, and N2 receptors, they are present in autonomic ganglia, that is in sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nervous system में जो ganglia associated है उनके साथ, and in the CNS as well as in the adrenal medulla. So this acetylcholine stimulates the skeletal muscle contraction by its action at neuromuscular junction. You must be aware of it, right? And as I said, autonomic ganglia means it acts both at sympathetic as well as the parasympathetic ganglia, which are stimulated by acetylcholine. Muscarinic receptors are divided into 5, okay, from M1 to M5. So M1 is present mainly in our GI tract, okay? M1 is present in GI tract. M2 is mainly present on heart. M3 is present in smooth muscles and salivary glands. M4 and 5, they are mainly present in CNS. So mnemonic to remember it easily is पहले खाओ फिर दिल लगाओ बाकी काम बाद में, ठीक है? सो पहले खाओ का क्या मतलब है? M1 is present in GI tract, ठीक है. Then फिर दिल लगाओ, that is M2 is present at heart. And then बाकी काम बाद में, मतलब बाकी की जगह पे M3, M4 और M5 है. I hope it's easy and ये आपको easily remember हो जाएगा. Now functions of cholinergic system. Guys, I'm repeating it again. What does it mean by functions of cholinergic system? Means what? Actions of acetylcholine. ठीक है, जो भी acetylcholine is our hero. Whatever it does, cholinergic system, or we can say parasympathetic system, or the cholinergic drugs, they just mimic the action of acetylcholine. So on heart, parasympathetic system has inhibitory effect on the heart. We have studied about it in our introductory lecture, okay? So those who have seen it, they remember it. And they decrease the heart rate and decrease the conduction as well, okay? So basically, acetylcholine or parasympathetic system has inhibitory effect on the heart, and the receptor present is M2. Remember, पहले खाओ फिर दिल लगाओ. That's why it is M2. On the blood vessels, there is no direct cholinergic supply is present, but cholinergic receptors. Which receptors? M3. Okay, it is present on endothelium of blood vessels. And stimulation of these receptors, okay, which are present on the endothelium of the blood vessels, so it causes the release of nitrous oxide from endothelium, which result in vasodilatation. So guys, इसका क्या मतलब है कि cholinergic system का blood vessels पे कोई direct action नहीं है, but through their action on these M3 receptors, okay, जो कि blood की endothelium पे है, उसकी वजह से what do? They causes the vasodilatation. So do remember it. In the eye, parasympathetic system, it causes the meiosis or the constriction of the pupil, right? इसका mnemonic भी I have told you in the earlier lecture. So via M3 receptor, it causes the constriction of the pupil, which is known as meiosis, okay? On the glands, it stimulates the secretion of the glands and result in increased salivation, lacrimation as well as sweating. On the urinary bladder, it stimulates the detrusor and relaxes the trigone of urinary bladder, resulting in increased mituration. Okay, you can see the receptor present is M3. On the GI tract, hydrochloric acid secretion is stimulated, and so increased risk of peptic ulcer disease and the peristalsis of GIT is increased by the cholinergic drugs. Okay. On the bronchus, it causes bronchoconstriction via M3 receptors. So guys, ये बात तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा क्लियर हो गई होगी. M1, M2, ठीक है. M1 कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है? पहले खाओ, which means in GI tract. Then फिर दिल लगाओ, so हार्ट में M2 receptors, और बाकी की सारी जगह पे there is M3, M4 and M5 are in CNS. So I hope this much is very clear to you. Or whatever action we studied, these are the actions of acetylcholine or the cholinergic drugs, right? Now drugs acting at cholinergic neurons. अभी ये जो हमारी cholinergic drugs है, how do they act? So so you can see the hemicholineum, vasamicol and botulinum toxin. This we will study in the next lecture because these are anticholinergic drugs. In this lecture, we are going to study about cholinergic drugs. So as you can see, choline esterase inhibitors, okay, in the bottom of this picture, choline esterase inhibitors, okay, there's choline esterase inhibitors. So categorized under these cholinergic drugs, okay, but they are indirectly acting over it via inhibiting the choline esterase enzyme. So just remember this much, okay, abhi ke liye. Now the classification of the cholinergic drugs, and the other name is parasympathomimetic drugs, okay, because they are mimicking the acetylcholine. Yes, I am repeating again and again ताकि आपको बहुत अच्छे से याद रह जाए. Now these cholinergic drugs are divided into two, direct and indirect. Okay, so directly acting are which? Acetylcholine, methacholine, carbachol, bethanacol and pilocarpine, out of which methacholine, carbachol and bethanacol, they are synthetic derivatives. Okay, and acetylcholine and pilocarpine are natural derivatives, natural alkaloid derivatives to be precise. Okay, and in the indirect we have reversibly acting as well as irreversibly acting. So guys, ये जो indirectly acting cholinergic drugs हैं, they will act via inhibiting the acetylcholine esterase enzyme. Okay, as we have studied in the earlier slide. Now reversibly acting are which? Physostigmine, neostigmine, androphonium. These three are extremely important. Okay, apart from them, tacrine, donepezil, rivastigmine, galantamine and pyridostigmine, all these are also the reversible drugs, reversible cholinergic drugs which are acting indirectly. Okay, and irreversibly acting are organophosphorus, ecothiophate. Okay, these are basically insecticides. Now we have an easy mnemonic to remember the directly acting cholinergic drugs, which is ABC PIN. Okay, it's easy, ABC PIN. So acetylcholine, bethanacol, carbachol. Okay, and PIN से हम याद रखेंगे pilocarpine and methacholine. Okay. Now we are gonna study about each and every important point जो आपके MCQ के लिए important है, वही चीज़ें यहाँ पे आपको पढ़ाई जाएंगी about each and every drug. Okay, so do note it down. First of all, acetylcholine. It is not used clinically because it is metabolized very quickly by choline esterase in the plasma, and it is not even effective via IV route. Bethanacol, it is mainly used for its action on urinary bladder. Okay. Pilocarpine, it is used in glaucoma due to its pupillary contractor action. Okay, which is meiosis, and its action is of very short duration. Pilocarpine and cevimeline are used to treat dry mouth associated with Sjogren syndrome. Guys, do remember it. Okay. Also in the dry mouth which is caused by radiation damage of salivary glands. Okay. Reversible anticholine esterases. Okay. In the reversible we study the most important drug is physostigmine. Okay. It is naturally occurring. It is a tertiary amine. Guys, ये एक word एक important MCQ है, so do remember it. Okay. Physostigmine, it is naturally occurring and it is a tertiary amine. It is lipid soluble. So what does it mean? It can be given orally and it has high solubility due to its lipid solubility, and it can cross blood brain barrier, which means CNS पे इसके side effect हो सकते हैं, and also the corneal barrier. So it is used in glaucoma and in the atropine poisoning. Neostigmine, it is quaternary compound, it is not lipid soluble and it do not cross blood-brain barrier. It is used in myasthenia gravis, cobra bite. Why? Because the venom of cobra, it can cause skeletal muscle paralysis. So in such cases we can give neostigmine. It can also be given in post-operative paralytic ileus, atony of urinary bladder, and reversal of competitive skeletal muscle relaxant. Neostigmine, it has a direct NM receptor agonistic action. Okay, direct NM receptor agonistic action है neostigmine का. That's why we can use it for the reversal of the effect of competitive skeletal muscle relaxant as well as into this cobra bite, right? Pyridostigmine, it is longer acting than neostigmine and its usage is similar to the neostigmine and it is also synthetic just like neostigmine. Androphonium, it is used in the very famous Tensilon test. Okay, Tensilon test is used for myasthenia gravis, in which we give 1 to 2 milligram of IV dose of androphonium. Okay, if it improves the skeletal muscle activity, if the weakness is due to myasthenia, otherwise it can worsen it. Okay, if the skeletal muscle activity improves, then we can predict myasthenia gravis. Okay, remember the name of the test, which is Tensilon test. Now, organophosphate poisoning, guys. In the previous NEET paper, which was NEET 2020, one question was asked about this organophosphate poisoning. Okay, so guys, what happens in organophosphate poisoning is, first of all, you should know what organophosphate falls under the irreversible cholinergic drug. Okay, so how do they act? They are mainly acting indirectly, okay, via acetylcholine esterase inhibitors, as I have said. Okay, so see, in the diagram below, here we will understand it. The blue color molecules are our acetylcholine, okay, and this green color are the acetylcholine esterase. Okay, so acetylcholine esterase का क्या काम होता है? It binds with acetylcholine. Okay, नाउ ये जो हमारा ड्रग है ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट, वो कैसे काम करता है? इट इनहिबिट्स द फंक्शन ऑफ दिस acetylcholine esterase. Okay, organophosphates are acetylcholine esterase inhibitors. So क्या होगा कि more of the acetylcholine freely available होगा synapse में. Okay, so now more acetylcholine is available, which means कि जो acetylcholine के actions which we just saw, right, lacrimation है, sweating है, GIT पे उसका effect है, pupil पे it causes meiosis, okay, and it causes vasodilatation, bronchoconstriction. So ये सारे जो effects we studied, it will get emphasized. Okay, so अब हमारी body will say कि now stop this overstimulation. Okay, so exactly this phenomenon happens into the organophosphate poisoning. Organophosphate increases more in the blood and it will block the acetylcholine esterase enzyme more and more, and more acetylcholine will be available and its actions would be emphasized. Okay, so this organophosphate is nothing but an insecticide which is used by farmers to kill the insects. So sometimes by inhalation or any other route, it gets into the system of farmer, then these over symptoms of acetylcholine will be seen. So which are the symptoms? We'll just revise it. Here we have an easy mnemonic to remember, which is dumbbells. Okay, diarrhea, urination, meiosis, bronchorrhea, bradycardia, emesis, vomiting, lacrimation, salivation and sweating. Okay, basically all the actions which we studied of the cholinergic system or acetylcholine, they are just getting emphasized over here. Or guys, do notice this one thing over here. They can also use the term anti-choline esterase. Okay, but you don't have to get confused, just stay vigilant. Okay, anti-choline esterase means what? choline esterase inhibitors. So ये एक ही चीज़ को दो तरीके से भी लिख सकते हैं. ओके, एंटीकोलिन एस्टरेज और कोलिन एस्टरेज इनहिबिटर्स और द ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट पॉइजनिंग, इन सब के सिम्टम्स एक ही होंगे. सो ये चीज़ का आप ध्यान रखना. एंड इफ़ यू नो द मैकेनिज्म ऑफ कोलिन एस्टरेज, ठीक है, इरिवर्सिबली ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट एक्ट कर रहा है एंड इट इज़ एक्टिंग ऑन द एसिटाइलकोलिन एस्टरेज, so you can easily make out and understand such type of terms and questions very easily. Okay, so the antidote for such condition is atropine. Now I have summarized this, the uses of the cholinergic drugs. Okay guys, do stick this chart in front of your study table and revise it as many times as you can, because once you memorize this chart, it would be very easy for you to solve the MCQs. Okay, within a second आपको answer मिल जाएगा. So it's very simple, but you have to revise it again and again. So see, ग्लाकोमा में कौन सी कोलिनर्जिक ड्रग्स एक्ट करती है? दे आर पिलोकार्पाइन, physostigmine, and ecothiophyte. In Alzheimer's, it is tacrine, donepezil, rivastigmine, and galantamine. Okay, all these were reversible drugs. Okay, then in belladonna poisoning, which is atropine poisoning, physostigmine use होता है. ठीक है. Actually, this chart is, I have scanned it from my notes itself. It was very useful to me and I'm sure it would be useful to you too. So I would suggest कि आप इसको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रिवाइज करें और do stick this chart in front of your table. Okay. And in the Sjogren syndrome, which drugs are used? Pilocarpine and cevimeline. In the paralytic ileus cases, we use bethanacol and neostigmine. In the urinary retention, bethanacol and neostigmine are used. Similarly, for its nicotinic uses, okay, reversal of the muscle relaxants. Which drug we give? Neostigmine and pyridostigmine. Okay. In the myasthenia gravis, for the diagnosis, we give androphonium. Remember the Tansilon test? Okay. And in the treatment of myasthenia, we give neostigmine and pyridostigmine. In the cobra bite, we give neostigmine and pyridostigmine. Stay tuned with me for the further coming lectures of the autonomic nervous system.